Who would have thought a ritual deck would be this good in 2024? Yo, what is going on, you guys? Bashtianygo here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Voiceless Voice archetype. I believe it's called Voiceless Voice. I believe it's also been called Silent Force. A whole bunch of different names. I've looked at multiple things on the YouTube verse, if you will, to try to understand how this deck works, because when I was a ritual decks, I'm not really the #1 go-to. We'd probably go to like Logan JYA, check out his Drytron stuff. A really cool guy. I love your channel, by the way, in the event you ever watch this. But Silent Force, we'll call it Voiceless Voice. I like that one better. Voiceless Voice or Silent Force, whatever it might be, is actually really interesting as an archetype. It's going to be coming out brand new here in Phantom Nightmare, so you guys want to go ahead and check that out before you actually go ahead and purchase the actual cards. I believe most of them should be coming in Super, if I'm not mistaken. I believe maybe 1 or 2 Ultra. Honestly, I think this is one of the most under the radar decks in the entire set. As far as the artwork is concerned, guys, you know I'm a big artwork type of guy. This is a rework of some old cards as well, which we've been seeing a nice little bit of trend recently from Konami. Reworks of Saravis, reworks of some other cards. I'll go ahead and have here on the screen for you guys that I don't know off the top of my head, but it's really cool to see these old school style cards get really reanimated in a new style. It's kind of like how the One Piece anime is going to be redone in a new artwork style, supposedly, allegedly. I've seen on Facebook. So let's go ahead and, if you guys know, let me know in the comment section down below. I'm still in Dressrosa arc, don't spoil anything for me. But beside the point, guys, with the Voiceless Voice, guys, honestly, it's a really cool ritual based deck that is not overly complicated to learn as far as like the basic lines and combos. So today what I'm going to show you guys is what this deck can really do when you have the most basic elements attached to it. So I'm just going to go as a quick basic combo test, and you can do with a 1-card combo, and then we're going to go ahead and go over a quick deck list so you guys have a quick template so you guys go ahead and build off on as well. But without further ado, guys, make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe down below, and let's get right into it. So here we are, guys, in our testing realm, if you will, with the yugioh Pro, EDO Pro. So what we have right here, guys, is a quick test hand for you guys. Realistically, it's going to be a 1-card combo. This is just if we open up super nice with all these hand traps as well, as you know your boy does. But I want to go and show you guys what this deck can really do with, again, just 1 card in the deck. Now, Novox the Silent Force Disciple is a fantastic starter for the archetype. Let's go ahead and read together real quick. So if you ritual summon exactly 1 Light Warrior or Dragon Ritual monster with a card effect that requires the use of monsters, which pretty much is going to be most of the ritual type of summoning, you can actually go ahead and use this card for the entire tribute, which pretty much takes all ritual summoning rules that we know completely out the window, kind of just like what Drytron did. So we have that going for ourselves, of course, which is really nice if we go ahead and use this level 1 monster for the entire tribute to ritual summon out our big boys, our big boss monsters as well. So really cool, we have that right off the bat. So also has some additional effects. So if this card is normal special summon, you can place 1 Silent Force continuous spell trap from your deck directly face up in your spell and trap card zone, which is fantastic. You don't have to worry about setting it, whatever it might be, which is great. You just go ahead and activate it from your deck, which is fantastic. So then if a Light Warrior monster or Light Warrior or Dragon Ritual monster special summon to your field while this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card, which means you can actually go ahead and take advantage of cards like Dynamundo, which I'm going to show you guys here in just a little bit. But let's go ahead and get right into it. So we're going to go ahead and start off by activating a normal summoning, I should say, the Novox Silent Force Disciple. Novox is going to be able to go ahead and, like I said before, activate one of our spells, traps, Silent Force cards directly from our deck. So we're going to go ahead and go for Silent Force Barrier. Barrier has the amazing effect where when during the main phase, you can add any Silent Force card or 1 Skull Guardian Ritual monster from your deck to your hand. So we're going to go ahead and activate this effect to go ahead and search out another of our Silent Force effect monsters from the main deck. We're going to be getting out Saphira, the wise Silent Force Queen. So this is a phenomenal card as well, guys. Essentially what this card does is you can discard it and send any ritual spell from your deck to the graveyard, which realistically we're going to be sending the Silent Force ritual spell, which is nice. And then you can add any Light Warrior or Dragon Ritual monster from your deck to the graveyard, which is cool, don't get me wrong, but its main effect that I really like as well, guys, is you can actually banish this card from the graveyard. Cost to banish, so you can't get DD Crow, which I love. Ritual summon 1 Light Warrior or Dragon Ritual monster that you literally just added to your hand from your hand by attributing monsters from your hand or field whose total levels equal or exceed the level of that ritual monster. So we're going to go ahead and abuse that effect. We're going to go ahead first discard her to go ahead and send our Silent Force Prayer and search out our Skull Guardian Silence Forcing Protector. So this is going to be the big bad, if you will, of the deck. A really phenomenal card realistically. So basically what it does, it gives you a free Omni Negate as long as you have Novox on the field or the graveyard, guys. This card is absolutely crazy. So let's go ahead and read all of Skull Guardian. So Skull Guardian says, first of all, it gains 2050 attack and defense. Just attack, sorry. 2050 attack while Novox is Disciples on the field or graveyard. You can only use each of the following effects of Skull Guardian once per turn. If this card is Ritual Summon, you can add a Silence Force monster or one Warrior or Dragon Ritual monster from your deck to your hand. Then when your opponent activates your card effect while you happen to control Novox Silence Forcer, you can negate the activation and destroy that card. So it gives you an Omni Negate, sorry, I misspoke earlier, is when you have that guy already on the field. When you have Novox already on the field, you are going to be good to have an Omni Negate. Now you might be thinking to yourself, well, how am I going to have this girl on board when she only has 50 attack and they can just go ahead and normal summoning whatever, beat over this thing, and you're good to go. Which normally I would say I do agree with you. I do think it's a flawed system. However, we're going to go ahead and get around that right away. So we're going to go ahead and actually go ahead and use this to Ritual Summon out our, what's it called, a Skull Guardian using Novox. Now Novox effect is going to activate as Chain Link 2. Because we have Chain Link 1, we're going to go ahead and activate our Skull Guardian to allow us to search, and then Novox is going to have the additional effect, which I mentioned earlier. If a Light Warrior or Dragon Ritual monster special summon to your field while this card's in your graveyard, you can special summon this card out for free. So we're going to go ahead and activate that as Chain Link 2, which chain blocks the search effect of Skull Guardian, which is awesome, of course. We're going to go ahead and summon that out and search out Serapis, the Ancient and Ascendant, which completely plays around cards like Imperm and also cards like Effect Veiler. So it's really, really good to go ahead and have that in a format where having a lot of like targeting based effects. Is really nice to go ahead and have Serapis, and in a deck that can actually search it where it's actually, funny enough, really relevant. So we're gonna go ahead and get this out the way, guys. We're gonna go ahead and play, and this is actually going to end our turn on a Dynamondo. Dynamondo. It's a card that came out, I believe, 2 or 3 sets ago. It's actually a pretty recent card, if I'm not mistaken. It says it requires 2 monsters, including a Ritual monster, which is perfectly fine, of course, in a Ritual-based deck, no problem. But Dynamondo also states, if this card is special summon, you can target 1 card on the field and 1 Ritual monster in your graveyard, shuffle both into the deck, period. So we can actually go ahead and do that if we're going second, in case you want to need some help breaking a board, whatever it might be. But also, during your opponent's turn, you can tribute this card and target 1 Ritual monster in your graveyard, either add it to your hand or special summon it. So we're going to be able to go ahead and do just that during our opponent's turn. So we're going to go ahead and play. We're going to end our turn, and during our opponent's draw phase, we're going to activate this effect. Now this is the only point I believe that we are essentially weak, because this is going to target the card in the graveyard, right? This targets target a Ritual monster, so we are susceptible to the cards like DD Crow, Ghost Bell. These are going to be cards that are going to really suck in the event we get hit by them, guys. So of course, just beware, be careful of that. So we're going to go ahead and activate that to target out our homeboy, our Skull Guardian. Now we do have, of course, the ability to where it gains the attack on summon, because we do have Novox in the graveyard. But we are forgetting about Novox's second effect. When this guy is summoned, you get to special summon her as well, and you immediately get the Omni Negate as well. And because you did special summon out the Silent Force Disciple, you're gonna get getting her effect to go ahead and activate directly from the deck a spell trap Silence Force. So really, really good right off the bat. So you have already protection from targeting, you have the Omni Negate from Skull Guardian, and you have the additional authority to authoritate on top of your opponent, where target card your opponent controls up to the number of Light Warrior and or Dragon monsters, Light Warrior, there you go, and or Dragon Ritual monsters you control, destroy them and discard. So you have already 2 forms of interruption, and you're protected from targeting already because of Serapis. As using just 1 card in your hand, essentially you have other cards you can go ahead and play in this deck to have either additional walls for yourself, build up a lot of, there's a lot of room for non-engine in this deck, so playing cards like Ash, Imperm, Droll, Veiler, Super Poly, Pre-Prep, all those type of consistency and non-engine cards you can use to go ahead and make this deck that much better and really just defend yourself. Because if you can make this with just 1 card in your hand, what else can you do with all the additional stuff you're going to have in your hand to play with? So I really like it. I like that you still end with 5 cards in your hand, so you can go ahead and do whatever other shenanigans you have, because realistically, in theory, this is like a lot of interruption. Of course, a lot of the hand shots, but of course that's just for testing phases. So that's gonna be it for the basic combo, guys. If you guys want to see any additional more complex combos with this deck, just let me know in the comment section down below. I'll go ahead and drop the goo, drop the sauce before the set comes out, guys. But now we're done with combo, let's get into that deck list. So here we are, guys, with our full deck list, 41 cards for the main deck, guys. And I want to go ahead and emphasize this is not a cut and dry, one specific way to go ahead and build this deck. I think there's multiple different ways you can go ahead and play it. I've seen it play with Nadir Servant. I've seen other people not play Diviner of the Herald. I've seen people play with this card right down here, the Trias, the Herachia, whatever this card is. Really beautiful artwork, first of all. But beside the point, guys, I have my face in the middle of the freaking deck profile. I'm so sorry, guys. Let me go ahead and move myself right on over here. Okay, fantastic. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and go by the card, guys. We've made 3 copies of Novox Silence Force Disciple, of course, 3 copies of Saphria, the Wise Silent Force Queen. Of course, Queen is correct because she is the queen, because she gets you so much advantage and lets you ritual summon from the graveyard. Well, banishing her from the graveyard for cost to go ahead and then ritual summon, but really good card nonetheless. 1 copy of the Seravis Rework, really cool. So you can special summon this card from your graveyard, from this card from your hand, sorry, by shuffling 2 spells from your hand or graveyard into the deck. At least 1 ritual spell. Really easy summoning condition. You can definitely go ahead and get that done super easy in this deck. Additional effects: you can also you can only special summon blah 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 once per turn. When your opponent activates a card or effect, you can return this card to the hand to special summon 1 light warrior or dragon ritual monster from your hand or deck and shuffle it into the deck during the end phase of the next turn. So that's really good because you can actually go ahead and special summon now Seravis, the Ancient and Descendant, which actually has an on-field effect, which is crazy. I know. All I really knew about it was that it protected you from targeting. The Seravis OG Seravis effect reads: you can discard this card, negate the activation of anything that targets, blah blah blah. When your opponent will special summon a monster, this is an on-field effect. When your opponent will special summon a monster, quick effect, you can return this card to the hand to negate the special summon, and if you do, banish that monster. Really strong effect that has not been relevant for the longest time because there's no really been a consistent way to go ahead and get this guy out onto the field until now. So that's really fantastic. You can go ahead and take advantage of both Seravis's effect as well. Now, for the rest of the monsters we play in deck, of course, 3 Ash, 3 Droll, 3 Imperm. We'll go ahead and 3 Veiler, 3 Imperm. Go ahead and get rid of all the hand traps. 3 Diviner of the Herald because it gets you immediate consistency. And if you want to go ahead and pop with Intis, that's fine as well. But sending the Herald, searching the ritual, things like that, having the Herald gain levels, so you can go ahead and use it as, you know, ritual material is going to be really helpful as well in the event you don't have the no box. So I do like to play the Diviner of the Herald package in here. 1 Odd Eyes Pendulum Graph Dragon. I think this card is way too good to not play. I think it's absolutely crazy. So primarily you're going to be looking at the monster effect, but just in case you guys are wondering, of course, the pendulum effect is really good as well. So we'll go ahead and move my face for just a second because there's a lot of text on here. So as far as this goes, guys, during the end phase you can add 1 ritual spell from your deck or graveyard to your hand, then return this card to the hand. So you can actually go ahead and recycle your ritual spells. So that's really nice as well. And then the monster effect primarily reads: you can ritual summon this card, blah blah blah, with Odd Eyes Advent. That's irrelevant. Must either be ritual summoned or pendulum summoned from your hand. Okay, that's fine. Each time your opponent special summons a monster from the extra deck, inflict 300 damage, 300 points of damage to them. So it's great in time card as well. And then once per turn, when your opponent activates a spell card or effect, you can place this card in your pendulum zone, and if you do, negate that effect and place this ritual summon card in your pendulum zone. You can special summon Odd Eyes monsters, then you can special summon an Odd Eyes monster from your extra deck in the event you want to go ahead and play that route. Ooh, I just moved my whole screen. 1 second. In the event you want to go ahead and play that route and play like the Xyz or the Fusion Odd Eyes monster in your extra deck, just so you can have that additional form of interruption, which is definitely a viable option. You can definitely go ahead and try. I just think that honestly I like having these specific options in my extra deck, but we'll go ahead and get to them. 2 Seravis, of course, 1 copy of the Saphria, the Silent Forces Deity of Dragons, 2 of the Skull Guardian, and let's say for the monsters, of course, 25 monsters. For the spells, we have 12 spells in the deck, 3 preparation of rites, pre-preparation of rites, not preparation, pre-preparation. Very important. 2 of the silent forcing prayer. As you guys can see, we don't really realistically need this card. It's just that we need it to go ahead and go full combo. So it's nice to have, but it's not a card you're gonna need at 3. It's just nice to have at 2 because you are gonna need multiples, of course. Next, 3 copies of Super Polymerization, probably the strongest card in the entire game, realistically. 3 copies of silent forcing barrier, so you can make sure you have that consistency in adding silence force cards to your hand. Essentially, it's an every turn Rhoda, if you think about it. So why would you not play it? 1 copy of the Silence Force Blessing, not a card that you go into that often because it doesn't do too much for you, in my personal opinion, but it's still a card I would like to go ahead and play at 1 just in case it gets you that additional also search target from your copy of Novox. Then 3 Emperor, of course, and the last card I do play is Silence Forcing Authority, which gets you an additional form of interruption as well as shuffling back stuff and additional, you know, things from your deck. Anyway, into the extra deck, guys, play 1 copy of Relinquished Anima, 1 Link Karibo, 1 SP Level Knight. You can play the SP Level Knight. It's not mandatory. It's just nice to have. If you guys wanted an alternative option, I would probably go ahead and play like the Fire Charmer because you do play Ash Blossom, but everything you play is light as well, so having Lion is really nice. Or just a 2nd copy of Dynamundo might be good as well because Dynamundo is really good in this deck. That gets you an advantage to that play that I just showed you. Also gives you an advantage to additional plays. Again, if you guys want to see a more in-depth combo profile, let me know in the comment section down below. Go ahead and get that out to you guys. But on continuing with this, 1 Underworld Goddess, 1 Sky Crisis, 2 of the Arclight, 1 Chaos Angel, 2 copies of Mud Dragon, 1 Intis, and then 2 copies of Garura, the Resonant of Life. That's gonna be it for the combo and deck profile for you guys for the Silence Force, Voiceless Voice, whatever you want to call it, archetype. I don't think I've seen the these in the openings just yet, but I know they're in there. But regardless, guys, hope you guys did enjoy it. Let me know what you guys think about Silence Force, Voiceless Voice, whatever his name is, in the comment section down below, guys. If you guys want to see again a more in-depth profile, more in-depth combo tutorial, I'm more than happy to do a little more studying and reading on this to get you guys the best content possible. But without further ado, hope you guys did enjoy it. Once again, if you guys stick around to the very end, I appreciate you so very much, and I will see you in the next one.